Welcome to the Whiskey Chasers, where we talk about our passion for whiskey and its history, either amongst ourselves or while interviewing distilleries, all while enjoying a glass. I'm Steve.
I'm Nick.
And I'm Chris.
Please enjoy responsibly while enjoying this week's episode of the Whiskey Chasers.
I have a buddy at work that was like, just randomly came up to me and he was like, "Saw you guys did Cardew." And I was like, "Cardew." And he's like, "On the podcast." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, Cardew. We did." And I was like, "How the hell do you know it?" And then he goes, "Well, when I was in Scotland last with my wife, that was one of the 4 distilleries we went to." And I said, "No shit." And he said, "Yeah." He goes, "I didn't know anything about it." And then we pulled up and I saw Johnny Walker on their sign there. And I said, "Oh, I know that," And I said, "What do you think?" And he goes, "Not only did I go there," he goes, "the bottle I bought is the same exact bottle you guys did on the podcast." He goes, "And that was my favorite and most expensive bottle I got in Scotland." So he was a fan. And he goes, I don't like Scotch, but I did like that. So, and he said it was a really cool distillery. Yeah. So I was like, well, how about that, man? I think that's a good intro. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome. Yes.
Howdy ho, neighbor.
Come along with us on this conversation. We're smoking and we're drinking and you are listening. And that seems like a fun time.
What are we smoking?
We're smoking
Something brand new, right?
Fusiliers ration?
Fusiliers ration, which
Is that how you say it?
I'm surprised. You know what that is, right?
A Fusilier? I'm going to guess it's a gun.
I figured you would know this.
You would
It's
think.
a history kind of thing.
It is a history kind of thing, and it looks like a musket of some sort.
Yeah, that's
But
like
I don't-
Revolutionary
But I
War
don't know.
type. I think that was a position, a soldier's position. So you
Fusilier,
have like a grenadier, you know what I mean? And you have this and you have that. I think a fusilier was like a rifleman, basically, or something like that. I don't know. We'd have to Google it. But I think it had something to do with more like the Civil War time of military. And I don't know the story behind why he picked that name for this, but it was Russ Ouellette, the guy from Hearth and Home, Pipes and Cigars. This was his. People really wanted him to do Bengal slices, which was a really, really, really popular, storied, legendary blend way back in the 70s or something, and it went out of circulation, and everybody it was one of those like Sugar Barrel, and you had Balkan Sobrani and all that, like these blends that went out that people kind of like, we want these back, we can't get these back. These are legendary blends. So he was tasked with making a new version of Bengal slices based on solely on his palate. So he made this based on how he remembered it tasted, which is pretty cool. And then I guess he hit the nail right on the head as far as that goes. It's an English blend with a little Cavendish and stuff in it. And I will say it smells delightful.
It does smell very nice. What do you think about the room note over there?
So I like the tobacco before you lit it up. Reminded me of. We'll try to get that back.
Steve's having mic issues.
Yeah. It reminded me of almost like mesquite wood.
Yeah.
Or like hickory.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm the smoker, like we're using that. Like that smell is what it reminded me of. Once you guys lit it up though, it's like more, the room note is great, but it's more like peppery kind of feel.
It is. It's more like a
It reminds me more
like a dry English.
Yeah, so it reminds me the tobacco before you lit it up was the smoker, the wood going on the smoker. After you lit it up, it reminds me of like a stove, indoor stove to heat the house kind of thing, like what my grandparents used to have in their house.
Wood burning stuff.
Yes, yep. Like it's been burning for years. It's the smell that has kind of stayed in the house kind of thing.
Right. It's less incense English and more like actual campfire wood or really wood burning stove English. So yeah, he made this for Bengal slices. Now there is a Bengal slices that came out, like an actual branded Bengal, which is probably this with the Bengal slices label. I don't think he makes this specific tin anymore. And also on top of all that, this tin is like over 10 years old. I've had it in my cellar for a hot minute. Yeah.
So a fusil and a fusilier is a type of infantry soldier. So you're right. And the Fusil is the type of rifle. It's a flintlock rifle. So
I was
you nailed it.
on, dude. I
You
was
nailed
dead
it.
on.
Does
just
that have
based
anything
on-
to do with fuselage?
A few,
Or was that different?
I think that's a car thing, isn't it?
Fuselage is totally a car part.
Yeah. So this is pre-car.
Pre-car. Yeah. But, I mean, the
Pre-car.
fusil, like, right? That's what you're saying is fusil?
Fusil, yeah. So it could be.
Fuselage and a fusilier,
Yeah.
two different things, my man.
One
I don't know.
lodges, one leaders. I don't know.
It could be the way that, like, it's a flintlock and it's, like a little explosion. It could
I
have
wonder if the
something to do with that.
fuselage came from the mechanism made in the fusilier. I'll watch that be correct.
They were mostly British soldiers, British and Scots.
British. Okay.
So this is maybe used during the Revolution.
yeah, Revolutionary War probably. Well, that's what those guns look like.
It is. Yeah. Yep. They're muskets or flintlocks of some sort, which is what it's on there.
Like those reenactments.
Which is kind of funny. That just pairs in my mind the old school kind of thing. Because we've got Neeley Family Distillery, a bottle of theirs.
Yep.
And you did some research on their
A little bit, yeah.
they've got some some history.
They do, and they have a lot of history for the family, but shorter history in terms of a distillery. Just because they waited a little while before they decided to go legal. So
They continued to make stuff illegally.
the illegal stuff reminds me of the fusil. Yeah.
I love that.
So there's 11 generations of people, but only one that's been distilling legally. So
Their story makes it sound like they would have been doing moonshine during the Civil War.
or before that.
Yeah, before that even.
Yeah, we're in the 1740s.
That's like Revolutionary War times.
That's pre-revolution, 1776. So
So-
that's
Maybe they
Yeah.
were making moonshine for the fusil.
maybe.
You
Yeah.
Yeah, they were probably smoking this tobacco.
Right.
And, well, not this tobacco, but they were probably smoking tobacco and drinking moonshine from this family. And they're like, the British are coming. The British are here. What are you talking about?
They're
man?
here.
They're coming here. Who do you think
We
we've been
are
fighting?
British.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they got so messed up on moonshine. The British are coming. Dude, we are the British.
are the
We are the
British.
British.
Quit telling
Yeah.
them.
And honestly, they're Scots. I mean, they're probably Scots, which means they were probably loyalists. They were probably fighting for the
British.
crown.
Yeah, you're probably
And
right
so
about that. Yeah.
most Scots were.
Yes.
So,
As much as
Is that-
they, as
'cause
much as they hate England.
I was gonna say, did they have a choice in that one, or
well, they've already lost against England pretty handedly.
we're just gonna fight with them now?
most of them. Like, yeah. And they just decided, you know what, we escaped them, and I have nowhere else to run. So
We have no more energy for this. Let's just do it.
So we're just gonna join, and it'll be slightly better.
It'll be okay.
Yeah, exactly.
We've survived. We will survive again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the French were like, we'll help.
Right, exactly. They're out there arming Indians in Kentucky and doing their thing. But yeah, so 11 generations of these guys going back to the 1740s, and then right now this is the first one that's, like I said, the first generation that's legal. And you've been there, right, Nick? Yeah, you once or twice.
I've technically been there.
Chris has been there once.
Yeah, Chris has gone to the
for a
bathroom there.
Yeah, for a restroom.
We went
pit
for
stop.
restroom and then went back to grab last year. Because last year we did the finishings. So last year went back and grabbed 2 of their finished bottles. Only one we used for the club. But during that time, I got to try all that was there. And the guy was like, hey, you want to take a tour? It's cheaper. And I was like, I'm good. I've got other things I got to do. And then I got thrown onto the tour. So,
You were
Funny how that
voluntold.
happens. Just get wrapped into it.
I just kind of got wrapped into it.
No, you want the tour.
Yeah. It was like, you're doing it. That's fine.
That wasn't a question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But their story is super interesting. I mean, they date back way back when, but then they also have family war history going on between families. Did you hear anything about this, Steve?
Like rivalries, like the Hatfields and McCoys.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did not. What do you know about it?
They, from my understanding, and they share this at the distillery, even they like the pre-tour, they talk about this, but they've got history beef with other families in the the creek that they used to live in, the little like the knob,
The hollow.
the hollow, yeah.
The holler.
Maybe that's the best way. The holler, to the point where they had like a shootout between families,
Sounds like
like
Hatfields and McCoys.
not even
does.
like a duel, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
literally, like
Like
they
a
just showed up
classic
and just got upset
gunfight.
with each other and started pulling out guns and shooting each other. And I think the sheriff or whoever it was got involved, and by the time he got involved, there were like
Bloodshed.
4 that went to the hospital and 1 dead out of this kind of thing. So like they had some beef with within
legit feud.
yeah, like a legit feud with each other.
But was it over whiskey?
I
Or
think it was over their moonshine, if I remember
Over the
right.
recipe?
Yeah, well, I think it was over like their territory and
Okay.
It's probably selling it.
yeah, had a lot to do with their moonshining days, illegal days, which probably didn't help. But I guess one of the families was good friends with the sheriff, whoever it was, and so they kind of like didn't buy him out, but like, hey, we didn't really start this, so like it's okay, right? Like, we were just defending ourselves, kind of thing.
The way you're describing them, I just started watching a new show called The Outsiders. Have you seen this? You heard about
I
this?
haven't.
It's you remember the Titans? The quarterback in that movie, the main
Sunshine.
No, not that quarterback. The other quarterback. You know that guy?
The preacher.
No, not the preacher. Maybe he wasn't a quarterback. Maybe he wasn't a quarterback. He's the guy that like gets hurt, but then he's fine at the end. Anyway, that actor, he was also in Sons of Anarchy, but he's in this show called The Outsiders. He's got long hair and a beard. Anybody listening that knows, somebody's gonna know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but I started watching this, and it's basically these people that have lived up in the holler, on the mountain, for hundreds of years, a family basically, and there's like legit families that do this, but it's modern world, and the coal company's trying to get them to come down, but people are afraid of them because they've been up there for so long, and it's like they have witchcraft almost, because like how do they live on that mountain for all those hundreds of years, and they have their own customs and language and everything else, but they also make the moonshine, or they call it feral wine. And the moonshine legitimately does, like, it's so crazy, and the recipe's so secret that it does like make people do things and see things, and it's like magic moonshine basically. Like somebody got murdered because they drank some of the moonshine because they thought that
Were they drunk off of this?
no, they
Or,
were
like,
drunk, yeah, but then like they thought like it was actually a kid killed his dad because he thought he was like a bad guy, or it was basically the moonshine's fault, legitimately. But the way you're describing the Neelys, I'm seeing more of these mountain men like in the hills.
So
It gets even more interesting.
when I look at the pictures on their website and stuff of just the family, like they are moonshiners. Like that is exactly the image.
Textbook.
The image in your head of a redneck moonshiner is this
a mountain
family.
man, a hillbilly.
And so they're more hillbilly, like more redneck. Not really hillbilly, but redneck.
To the point where I think he went to the master distiller, head distiller now, who helped start the distillery.
Yep.
Went to Kentucky University, KU, I think.
Yeah, KU.
And the way that he got through school and paid for school, Chris, was he made his own moonshine during the week and sold it on the weekends to frat parties.
That's awesome.
And his dad was in on it too. His mom didn't know about it.
They're shiners, dude.
And his mom found out and got his dad in trouble for it, I guess.
What's crazy is in a world, full of beer and other spirits like whiskey and whatever, like legit, there's always a place for people to want, and not just moonshine, but like that kind of moonshine, like illegal or non-branded,
real moonshine.
real
yeah.
in a jug. Somebody made this. There's always a market for that. People want to drink it.
Yep.
You could have, like expensive bourbon at your disposal, and you're like, oh man, let's drink this moonshine. There's like something about it,
Yeah.
that it's interesting that, he was able to sell. It doesn't surprise me because people are always in the market for that.
Yep. My I have a cousin that makes moonshine, and him and his wife will sit and drink that every night. Like and like they'll go and spend the money on good bourbons or whatever else, and they always turn back to their own shine, and they'd rather do that
It's what
than
they made it
than the
themselves.
bourbons. It's theirs. They've kind of dialed in the recipe that they like, I've had it. It wasn't great, but but it's moonshine.
But they liked it.
I
Yeah,
did,
it's great,
you know,
yeah.
Well, and
it's not my
moonshine hits you
jam.
differently.
It
It's
does.
kind of like different spirits hit you
Yeah.
differently. You know, moonshine
So-
hits you different than
Yeah,
like
yeah.
anything else.
And so he does a combo of a corn mash and a sugar mash, and so he does a lot of sugar mashes and does it just that way, and that's their preferred method is the sugar method, whatever the hell that means. So, but there's no grain in it; it's just
They
sugar.
got the sugars.
And so yeah, and I've had, like I said, I've had it, and they have tried adding some chips and stuff to it, and that does alter it. And honestly, for the worse, like it's better as White Dog.
You're not drinking
which
it for
which
the
could be
taste.
just that they haven't quite dialed in what those, and because they like the White Dog too, so they haven't really messed around with that as much. But
There's
you're right.
moonshine that tastes better than others.
Yeah,
but
oh,
you're,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
never drinking it for the taste, but there is some that taste better than others.
I do find it interesting. So they came from a moonshining background. Heavy moon.
Neeley?
Yeah. Neeley came from a heavy moonshining background. And again, they love to say that this is the 11th generation, but the first legal generation.
It sounds like they're like one of the oldest moonshiners.
They're up there
so-
for sure.
When we were there, Chris, I don't know if you remember seeing their oh crap, what has the wormwood traditionally has wormwood.
Oh, absinthe?
Yeah, so they make absinthe, which I think for moonshiner makes sense. Like it's more of a clearer spirit.
Well,
but
it's more of like the hallucinogen,
Right.
which is kind of like what you get with the moonshine and the lore of the moonshine, with the lore of the absinthe.
They
kind of
won an award last year for like one of
Their
the
absinthe.
best absinthes, like for craft
Man,
distilleries
that's
made.
Interesting. We talked about this. We really need to have an absinthe
We do,
night, like an experience, like the full experience.
but name another craft distillery that like they get an award for the best something
Absinthe?
other than
Yeah.
whiskey, like other than bourbon.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like even any other spirit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like other than vodka. I mean, okay, everyone tries to make vodka to survive, but like
I will say though, with absinthe, there can't be too many people that put in for that award. So your chances of winning are higher.
don't know how many do it.
Yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of times it works the opposite way, where they're famous for a different spirit, and then they join into whiskey later. And so sometimes vodka and gins and stuff, but like we're gonna talk about another one that's big in rum, and then they got really
Well,
known
that,
for the rum.
What's that one from Iron Vault? They do it, and then a few other places.
Genevieve-
Aquavit.
Yeah,
Aquavit's
Aquavit,
another
yeah.
thing. Like, not many people doing it, so like if there is an award for that,
Fair.
your chances of winning are better. And if you have a good Aquavit, I mean, probably gonna win. But yeah, that's interesting. So Neeley. So when you went there, were there Neeley people there?
So the family was not there
Okay.
when I was there. But it's so when you and I went, we should have tried to take a tour or do something. We
very
didn't have
quick.
the time. But
We
yeah,
didn't. We were on like a 15 or 17 hour drive.
we're talking like crammed into slightly bigger than what Iron Vault is. But everything is all like traditional. So traditional to the point where like they have their fermenters that they use. I want to say they've got 4 or 5 cypress wood fermenters open air. So that just line the back wall. That it's beautiful. You walk in and like they take you up and like let you see all of it and do all of it. Like they've got all their stills are still like the old school style stills. So it's very like moonshine-esque, old school style-esque feel.
All pot stills.
Yeah. I mean, just beautiful. And then they've got their rick house cracks me up because it's like a separate building from the rest. But they've got a lot stockpiled away, just sitting back, aging and getting ready to be put out. So like they've got, for being as young as they are, I don't remember when they got officially started
Legally young.
but as young as they are for like legal wise, they've actually done quite a bit.
So how long have they been doing actual whiskey?
Quite a while.
Okay. So before they went legal, they were making whiskey, not just moonshine. They were making actual whiskey.
Yeah, 2015 is when the distillery opened. So they've been, at least doing it since then. They came out with whiskey right away. Since they came out with whiskey right away, you can probably assume that they've been making it for a little while to kind of figure it out a little bit. And so I'd say probably since early 2000s. Maybe before then, but honestly, it's a lot harder to have a market for whiskey that isn't legal.
Right.
It's
Yeah. Like,
it's so
it's funny that
or like a
people will
bourbon.
people
Yeah.
will buy moonshine that's like, non-branded, like in a jug. But like the idea of buying bourbon like that, it's kind of like not the same. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but also I think the people that are making moonshine are probably not willing to wait 4 years.
No, they're not going to age it. That's the
So,
thing. They're not going to age it. That's why I
yeah.
was wondering, is bourbon for them a fairly new product?
I think it
Probably
is because do you remember Hidden Barn?
Hidden Barn sounds so familiar.
Here's the bottle. You'll probably recognize it off of the bottle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's them. That's
Okay,
theirs.
okay.
But they brought in a blender.
Great name for them, Hidden Barn.
So they brought in a blender to be able to do all that. And I think mainly because you don't blend moonshine. You don't really, you can distill.
You don't age it.
Right. You don't age it. You can distill it, but like,
you put it in a jug
and call it a
drink
day.
it. Yeah.
So they brought in like a master blender to help with them for a while. They brought about Hidden Barn. And that's actually where, like, you can find Hidden Barn in Indiana. You can find Hidden Barn outside of Kentucky. This Neeley, their Neeley family products that actually have Neeley on it, you can't find. They don't distribute that out.
You have to buy them there.
You have to go there. So I think they utilized them being young, them not knowing blending, but knowing how to distill. I think they utilized someone else, which is great, to blend for them and then use that product to get them out while they learned about blending, while they learned about what works, what doesn't work. Right. They've done a ton of experimental stuff. Like we had one, the podcast, the episode's gone, but it was a 4-grain that they did that had oat involved, which was, it was good, but it was like there was something missing in that bottle. You guys you were not a big fan of it.
Do they have many the Neeley products? Is there many of those?
Yeah, they have a lot. They have a lot of Neeley products, but they are, so the Jet Brothers is another one of theirs, which is the finished.
Brothers, that sounds familiar.
That was the finished one
that we
did. Yeah.
Okay.
So they've got different lineups that they do. So they got Hidden Barn, which is what they kind of got their name set for them outside of the state. Jet Brothers is what they use for their finishings, which they're looking at doing a mezcal finishing, by the way, Chris.
Ooh, a mezcal finish.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then they've got, for the longest time, they just did Neeley as their name for all these experimental, like, pint-size bottles. This last year was the first year I saw them put out a full 5th under their name. And it's like they finally got the recipe dialed in. They finally got the blend
enough
dialed
to make
in.
them put their name on it. Yeah.
And now they've got their name set in stone of like, this is what we do. And it's no longer sold in pints. These are sold in 5ths that we have today. Right.
It's a full-on bottle.
I think it's a single barrel.
I was going to ask you to read, because I'm drinking it and I'm like pretty impressed.
Yeah,
but I want to see what the specs are because I have no idea.
They've come a long way.
I don't know that they tell you a lot of specs. Oh yeah, they do.
It looks kind of like a shine.
Oh no, this is the 4-grain. We're not.
No, yeah,
this is not the 4-grain.
This is,
right?
I think, is a 6-year-old single barrel. I think.
It is a single barrel. Bottled and Bond. Is it Bottled and Bond? Does it say on there?
Sorry, I was looking at the. Let's see, single barrel, 105.1 proof, which is surprising. I thought it was higher than that.
Yeah, 6 years old, weeded.
It's got the yeast, the barrels. It's got barrel chart. It's got everything's on here. It's aged 6 years. It's got the mash bill. You want the mash bill?
Yeah.
Corn 66, wheat 25. I am very surprised. And malt 9. This is a conundrum.
Does it give you yeast strand or?
Yeah. Yeast strand is A-1.
So this is another one of those, when they were doing the 4-grain like experimentals, they don't just do grains, they also do yeast strands. So they're experimental with what works and like what can we put out that changes something that tastes good.
Well, because they're boasting 11 generations of distillers, which I love that, which means of moonshine distillers. Nice. Well, they got a lot written on the back.
They got a lot written on the back.
I'm trying to figure out
it's tiny writing.
What I'm trying to figure out is there's a picture of the still on the front, which is very moonshine-esque.
I believe that's a resemblance of the first still that they had.
I can't read. There's a pistol on it, and then there's some writing. And I think I'm getting old enough that I can't read that. I used to be able to read something like that, but I need glasses at this point.
There's a pistol on it.
Yeah, and then there's some writing. And it looks like something bottle something.
It's in cursive.
It is
So
in cursive.
that's what
and
makes
it's
it
very
even harder.
tiny. Did you see that? It's like
I didn't.
I'm guessing that's on their actual still because they put it on there like size of, like it's not for you to read. You know what I mean? Basically,
Old Brownie is what I almost think it says.
Old
but-
Brownie.
Old
But I'm not
brownie.
sure.
Well, it could be Browning. It's a
Yeah.
pistol.
Well, it could.
But I'm just wondering what's that about? The pistol. That's
I'm
gotta have some
guessing-
sort of
I'm
significance.
guessing it's the fight, the
yeah.
shootout.
It could be the shootout.
Yeah.
And that's pretty cool. It's a hidden thing because they're not really showcasing it.
No.
I think that you would not like. I picked up on it, but I don't think people would really go, "What is that?" You
Talk
know?
about showcasing. They don't showcase at all on their product or what they do because apparently they have their own podcast too. That the master distiller and I think it's all family, like sisters involved. But I didn't know about it. I talked to them about the podcast and they're like, "Oh, they would be all for it. They have their own podcast they release." I was like, "What? What?
That's
What is it?
I don't. I was
wanna
like,
know about
what is
it.
going on? Like
Yeah.
nothing is talked about with these guys.
Do they have? We probably don't know. Do they have any like roots to Scotland?
We don't know. And
Because
Neeley,
you think Neeley, like you think Mick Neeley. I've known McNeely's, like, but it's just Neeley. But they might have dropped the Mick.
Isn't McNeely
Well, that's
also
Irish.
from
That's more
Shorzy?
Irish, huh?
Isn't it from Letterkenny?
Letterkenny.
Yeah, isn't one of the guys named McNeely?
McMurray.
McMurray.
That's McMurray.
McMurray.
God, I love that show.
That's a
One of
great
the
show.
best shows ever made. Up there.
McMurray.
How are you now?
But yeah, what? Anything else? Did you find anything else, Steve?
I didn't. A lot of their stuff, it all goes back to their moonshining days. So there's lots of history around just the family and various stories about the family. It's all just on their website like that. Because they're so small, not a lot of people have interviewed them or anything like that. So there's not a ton of like history about them that isn't just like on their website.
But sticking to like a small like moonshine feel, they are literally in the backyard of the Kentucky Speedway.
They are.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it
like
was
dirt
very,
road
it was
Kentucky
nice.
Speedway. Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to like people to think about this as like junk. It was actually really
nice.
really
Yeah.
nice looking. Small, but we didn't just went there to go to the bathroom. We did go there to like check it out, but then we were like too busy and it was too much of a wait.
There was a
It
lot of
such a
people,
small
yeah.
place that we just kind of hit the restroom and left. But it was really tiny, and it like the way that you described it just there was perfect. Like it is, you could miss it.
Yes, you really
and
could.
the sign for it is like really kind of, it's interesting, and it's really out of the way from like the bourbon scene
Oh yeah.
for Kentucky.
I mean, you drive right past it.
Well, you see the
yeah.
sign for the Speedway, and then you see like the sign for McNeely. It's like right there. Yeah, it's interesting. Well, I do want to talk about the flavor for a minute and what we're drinking. If you had asked me before I looked at this bottle, like what the mash bill was, would not have said that much wheat.
No,
Not anywhere close.
I agree.
And if you were to ask me what the proof on it was, I would have thought it was closer to 110. This is 105. And in a good way. I like it's not bitey. I don't want people to think that. But it tastes it's punching above its weight.
It does.
In all
It's
the
got a
good way. And
punch.
maybe,
Yeah.
and that must be all flavor because I'm equating it to like strength of the actual spirit, but it's really just flavor. Because that's proofy for a lot of people, but for me, that's like very not proof.
What is the proof on this? 100?
105.
105. See, I don't get a lot of proofiness from it. Like 105 feels about right to me.
I'd actually go less than 105.
I know, I would too. Like it doesn't punch me at all.
Here's the thing that I would
But,
change.
yeah.
Is instead of wheat, it drinks like a rye.
Well, that's
Like
what
a
I'm
high
getting
rye
at.
almost.
That's what
Okay.
I'm getting at. That's why I'm equating to the proof because it's not rye, but it's tell me if I'm wrong. It feels like it's grabbing you by your Adam's apple, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I
It's
get
way
with
back
proof.
in the back. Yeah.
I usually that's where the proof shows up for me, other than like the actual physiological effects of like the up and down burn from your stomach to your, which you get from time to time with proof. But for me, most of the time I can feel proof based on it feels like somebody's grabbed my Adam's apple and kind of tugging it a little bit. And you will get that same kind of sensation with rye a lot of times. And we've talked about that, the differences between the two. But drinking this, I can tell in the flavor, it's not a rye. I wouldn't have thought there was that much wheat in it, but I didn't think it was a rye, but I thought it was proof. Okay, it's not rye, it's got to be proof. Well, it's not proof. It's not rye. So what the hell is it?
Right.
You know, get what I'm saying? I don't know, but there is something pulling at my Adam's apple, and that's a lot of flavor or something for coming from not the two places I would have expected it. So I don't know what that is, but it's damn good.
What's interesting is the smell isn't dusty corn.
No.
It's wheat. It smells like
on the nose, you mean?
Yeah. It smells like
Yeah, I
like
could get
fresh
that.
wheat
Yeah,
almost,
I
you know,
could
like
get
or
that.
dried out wheat. But it doesn't drink like a
The
wheater.
nose and the flavor are
Two
completely
different things.
Very
separate
different.
things. It would be like trying to equate like fresh water and ocean water. They're not the same thing.
Not the
They're
same.
just not. But they're both water, but they're not the same thing. You know what I mean? But what I can't get, what I'm not getting in flavor, and I don't know, the wheat. That's a lot of wheat. It's a lot of wheat. That's
It is a lot of wheat.
It's a
I
fourth
get-
wheat.
Right. I do get I get some of like the buttery notes or whatever that you get with like wheat.
It's not creamy what you would expect for
No,
wheat. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
And
it's not super sweet.
yeah, I don't think it's sweet. I get like kind of a black tea sort of deal going on a little bit to it.
Like an herbal.
Yeah.
The Earl Grey kind of a
Right.
iced
Yep.
black tea.
And I do feel what you mean with the Adam's apple thing in the back. Like it grabs you at the very end of the finish, just kind of hangs out right there, and you just know that you're drinking, kind of thing.
It can fool you into like
right.
you're gonna feel your
It doesn't for me.
your
It
muscles
doesn't,
working, you know?
Yeah, yeah. For me, it's muted. It's just there, and when it's there, it's always noticed. You know, because it's not always there. But you're right. At 105 with no wheat, I mean, we're all at a point where 105 is kind of that's your easygoing kind of proof.
right. When we've had many things around 110 that were way easier going than this.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying is that this to me tastes around 110, and it's not.
But you know what's interesting?
And it's not. But and it's 6 years. It's actually very mellow. It's got the age is right on it.
There's only been one other wheater that we've had that's drank like this, and it was the William Dalton single barrel pick. And we
were all surprised it was wheated.
we were all surprised it was wheated. In fact, the conversation was, I would not give this to someone that is just getting into wheated bourbon or into bourbon because it's
or if
not
somebody asked for a wheated
right. Like
bourbon.
this is not wheated bourbon. Like this is not your traditional entry level wheated bourbon.
Yeah.
But along the way, this beats out. I think the conversation was, and I would agree. I would say the same about this. This beats out Weller 107 when it comes to like a wheated bourbon in my mind, because it has more of a oomph to it. It takes you past being a wheater and into, ooh, maybe I like rye. Oh, maybe I like a different flavor.
There's going to be people that'll hear that and they're going to go like, no. they're not gonna agree
Right.
with you.
Sacrilege. Yeah.
The thing about that is if you like Weller 107, that's great. And it is a fantastic whiskey. But the reasons you like that is because it's delicate and because it tastes
I didn't
good
pour enough.
and all that stuff. Oh, here. But if you're like us and like there's other people that do want a little bit more of a mean streak, you know what I mean? That quote unquote like offensive. There's people that want spice on their wings. Look, if you like to go and get honey barbecue on your wings, that's awesome. I like honey barbecue too. But I like really hot stuff.
Yeah.
So like I usually get the hottest sauce that somebody has to offer. And I enjoy that burn because it's something different and I like it. And same thing. So you might like Weller 107 and be like, what are you talking about? Like this isn't as good as that. But if you're the kind of guy that wants really hot sauce on their wings, it's because you like that difference. And that you would like something like this over that is what I think I think that's what you're trying to say, right? Yeah. Weather 107 is great, but that's like honey barbecue on your wings. It's
Sometimes
fantastic.
maybe I want Chipotle barbecue, like a Chipotle honey. Like I want a little bit of spice with my sweet. You know, like I enjoy the honey barbecue, but I want something a little bit more. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting
you
kind
need
of
to break
bored
it
with the
up.
honey barbecue, so I kind of need something else.
Right. Or
You
you're
know?
going to want an appetizer or a
Right.
dessert with it.
Right,
Because after
exactly.
a while, I can eat 50 wings from B-Dubs. We've done it with honey barbecue, and it's fantastic. But after a while, like, it's the same crap. You know what I mean? Like, I'm eating, this is the 27th wing that tasted the same as the first one. You know what I mean?
It's almost
And-
like changing it up. Like, do I get blue cheese or ranch? Like, I'm a ranch
that's
person
way to,
with
that's
wings.
a way to
And
change
then all of a
it
sudden,
up.
okay, I want blue cheese.
Blue cheese is
Yeah.
fantastic.
But it
Just something different.
changes
It does change.
drastically
Yeah.
the experience,
Well,
the
and the other
flavor.
problem with the 107 guys, look, I get it, but and maybe call me a glutton, but the problem is when I drink that, I drink all of it. Like I drink like there's no stopping because it is very mellow and friendly and fun and good. It's kind of like opening a bag of something and you can't stop eating it kind of a thing. Then you're like, I should put this away, but you don't. You eat the whole bag.
Right.
That's Weather 107. But this you would not do that with. And I just respect that when I get it. Like I'm going to have a glass or two of this and be like, I either need to move on to something else or I'm done for the night. Because it's kind of punchy. And it's so punchy for a wheat, for 25% wheat. How?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What's interesting is you guys can't read the back. Chris,
There's a
I'm
lot
assuming.
of writing. I got
Yeah,
tired.
there's a lot of. There's like 3
I
paragraphs.
originally looked at it and I was like, not going to do it.
So they
too much
limit
work.
themselves to 3 barrels per day of production. The very small batch. They talk about the pot stills, cypress open top fermenters, long fermentation times, and sweet mash. So they're doing a new mash bill every time, or a new mash every
Right,
time.
yep.
Yeah.
Yep, they're doing sweet mash.
Also, talking about the moonshiners, the 6 years is a long time for them.
Yeah.
It is a very long time.
And that's got all the color of a 6 year.
They also
dark.
do extra air seasoned barrels.
Extra air seasoned.
So for the barrels, what they do for like I don't know if you know about this,
air
Chris.
seasoned.
So for the wood that they use for like the barrels for
The cooperage?
cooperages of the way they use,
Oak?
they use oak, but then they also set them outside to let them season, get old. And there's different times that distilleries have decided, I want mine to be out there for X amount of time, or I want it
What's
longer or
variable
shorter.
we haven't talked about. What if you set them by the sea? All of a sudden.
They'll never dry.
Yeah, they'll never dry.
Very unique variable that does
Jefferson
change.
needs to take note on that one.
It definitely
Right.
changes quite a bit.
Ocean my ass.
Right.
Gonna season this wood.
got
Yeah.
wet barrels.
You didn't even season that damn wood. Well, that's interesting. So open air seasoned as opposed to in a room somewhere,
Yeah.
like stifled.
Or they let them sit out for a lot longer
What about
to let them dry out.
Rainforest open aired seasoned.
That would be
That'd be-
interesting.
that'd
But
be
would you
hardcore.
take the American oak over there?
Yeah, take the American oak over there, completely destroy the environment by doing it, but then call it like some sort of environment protection.
Yeah. Give 1% to
yeah.
the environment. It'll be okay.
We do something great, but we just
We-
destroy it the other way.
Part of the proceeds goes back to the Amazon rainforest and preserving it.
Speaking of maintaining or restoring, so how much is this cost, and are you able to get it?
No, this bottle's done. So
We
this
need to
is
quit doing that on the podcast.
I know, right? All these
'Cause
one and dones.
I'm disappointed, and I'm sure other people are like, "Well, what the f?" You know what I mean? I can't even try.
This
it
is great. Good luck.
as
Good
the
luck.
as the guy described it when I
now.
bought it.
Sucker.
This is the last bottle that they had. I think they only had it for like a couple months and it sold out.
It's not
But-
something they're gonna make again.
This is a single barrel pick, like a single barrel that they did at the distillery. So they can't
Oh.
it's going to be near
But
possible
so
to
they
recreate.
don't
that.
just put out a single barrel at 6 years.
Right.
This was something.
This was
somebody
something they
requested.
picked. No, this is something that they decided as a distillery to showcase the best of the best. Now that
Oh,
they
okay.
have
So they did their own pick. Okay.
now that they have stuff down, this is to showcase the best of the best for them.
Well, hopefully they continue to do that. You should always have a product that showcases the best of the best. We all have a signature move. You know what I mean? It might not be the one you use all the time, but you got to pull it out of your back pocket.
But I'm not sure that you could recreate this.
No, I'm not saying you can recreate it, but they need to have a product that sits in that.
Yeah,
place.
something that would be good.
Right.
They
Something
could go
Yes,
get. Like
yeah.
somebody could go to Neeley and probably get something very similar to this, maybe better, maybe worse, but something similar to this. If they're not doing that at all, that's disappointing.
I think they are. I mean, they do have their own bottle out now.
a 6 year single barrel.
I don't know if it's 6 years or what it is, but
Yeah.
I know they have their own sitting out now.
Oh, I see what you mean. Not locked into a number, but kind of like what I
Locked into a flavor, yeah.
Okay, like a specialty bottle. Hopefully, they continue to do that because, and actually, I kind of like the fact that it wouldn't be the same because then it just opens doors for like when you go there, you pick it up, and then you might like it, you might not, but you can compare it against the old bottles
If you still have it.
Well, in your mind. Well, you don't have a palate memory. You don't have a thumb through the pages in your mind. I got a memory palace. I just go into a room. This is where I stored the Neeley 6-year single barrel.
Oh man, it was so good.
Yeah. I don't know. And to speak about the tobacco again for a minute, because I'm really, really enjoying this.
It's a very good tobacco, and it's going really well with this bottle. And I think it might be. I was wondering if maybe the tobacco is what's creating the burn or creating that punch in the back of the throat.
It's a strong tobacco.
Is
the
it more
tobacco
peppery?
with the whiskey? And adding to that, it's not peppery.
I would not call it peppery.
It's not a peppery tobacco. It's strong.
It's more
but it's not-
leather forward than most. And you can eat leather in a lot of English blends. This one's more leather forward and like dried, like freshly dried wood fireplace or campfire wood.
Yeah.
And I usually say creosote with English blends. This is not that. This is not chemically at all. This is not artificial at all. This is natural burning. Like maybe some brush wood and maybe some very dry pine kind of like aroma. Not in the flavor, but no pine in the flavor. But that kind of fire. Like a desert fire and leather. It's very good. And I've had so much English that anymore it's like, okay. But this thing, and maybe it's the age too, but this is really, really good.
Yeah.
Also something you can't get.
Right, exactly. Yeah. This also doesn't exist.
If
And
you want
this
something
one-
to try that's close, it's probably mango slices and then let it age for a few years.
Yeah, because you said this has been aging for about 10. You think? Yeah. So yeah, this
And
is
it's very dry for something I just popped and actually had a seal to it. But I don't think I'd want it at any other. I don't wonder if it comes dry because I wouldn't want it at any other consistency. Like this is actually smoking very good. Fine white
It is.
ash.
Yep.
It's slow burning.
it is.
Like
It's
I'm
very
only.
slow burning.
Look at that. I'm not even a quarter through the bowl, and I'm getting so much big, like thick, voluptuous voluminous amounts of smoke. Right. It's a very pleasant tobacco.
It is. It's very pleasant. Like you said, it's burning off really nicely. My pipe is nice and warm, but it's not
not hot.
burning. It's not
Yeah.
hot.
It's not harsh in any way.
Yeah, it's not harsh. It's going really well with this whiskey. And I think it is partly because maybe that's where the wheat is also pretty easygoing, but they both kind of punch a little bit. And so that maybe I don't know if that
The
works.
combination
Just
could
the
be, yeah.
combination of it works out well.
I feel like I could see with this distillery, this family being 11 generations of moonshiners. I feel like I could see them trying to create a flavor profile that would go well with tobacco.
Well, because these guys smoke for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
1,000%.
At
Like,
least Papaw does.
yeah, exactly. Like,
Papa and Meemaw.
Yeah.
and Mima.
Yeah.
because I'm thinking like for a craft
Their own
distillery,
probably tobacco. Yeah.
yeah, for a craft distillery, you can tell it's craft, but you're not getting that dusty barn,
This
that
is the
dusty corn.
craftiest non-craft
Yes.
distillery tasting thing.
But
Yeah,
this craft,
is very
I could see this
homemade,
craft go really well with tobacco.
but not that dusty barn crafty. Yeah. I mean, and I equate that to being high end. This is like what you search for with like organic food, like that hand touched kind of feel, the quality kind of feel, the hometown, the handmade, like if anybody's ever worn handmade clothes, same thing. Like you can get some of the best clothes you can get are handmade. You know what I mean? But like it's different. It is very different. And it's awesome. And it's like something that'll last your lifetime kind of a thing. That's what this whiskey tastes like. It's very, very, very recommendable. This is very good.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of Neeley just based on this bottle. I'm a big fan.
Tonight's a club night, so everyone's coming over a little bit later on. I want Blake to try this because he's a weeded guy. He doesn't like Dusty Barn, so this is a good craft weeded to see what he thinks of it.
And,
Like we
and
said,
to not
this-
tell anybody about
Yeah.
the mash bill either.
Exactly,
Just to see
yeah.
what they think.
Because it's like we said, this doesn't scream a weeded, so it doesn't. So I'm curious of what he would think of it in that way.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't tell people this was a rye and they would think, yeah, a little bit, other than the flavor of it. It doesn't have any rye flavor. But I think a lot of people that aren't into ryes could miss that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's very good. What was the price on this? Did we talk about?
No,
that?
we didn't. We didn't talk about the
What was
price.
the price? What were they asking?
I want to
for
say
something
this
like
one was
this?
probably 80, 85.
That's so good. That's such a fantastic. Anything under $100 for this, for their
Really?
specialty bottle, 6 years old, this much complexity.
I mean, I feel like their bottles are normally decently priced
What, 40, 50 probably?
because I mean we had the stuff for the club. You're talking. I mean, for their hidden barn is about 80. Their rise, so about 80, 90 bucks for their bottles.
Well, I'm surprised this is that cheap then.
Well, so the Jet Brothers, the Finnish one was about $100.
Well, this blows that way out of the
Yeah.
water. Like just torpedoes
So,
that.
do you remember the cognac finish, the French cognac finish? I don't have any left of it because I finished it, and I don't like cognac finish.
Maybe
It was very much like this.
I'd have to see a picture. I probably do.
You tried it.
I'm
and
sure I did.
You tried it and looked at me and said, "Please hide this. This is not going to the club."
Oh,
So
I remember being like, Neely's got some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But this is really good.
I would love to
I'm
interview
surprised
them
this is
just
the
to
first
see.
Neely we've had on the podcast. We have had some of their stuff.
We've had it. The episode went bye bye.
Yeah, that was one of our lost episodes.
That's a great price. I think that's a great price. Anything under $100 for this level of quality. I mean, it's a 6-year, but that's been a lot of work has gone into this. You can tell, and it's craft, and it's under $100. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Even their finished stuff at $100 is worth it.
Yeah. Now, do they make a moonshine?
Yeah, they do moonshine
Okay, I
and
was gonna
stuff.
say,
they
you
do
have
all
to,
kinds of
yeah,
stuff.
have
Yeah,
a legal moonshine at this
They got
point.
lots of flavored moonshines and all that
Gross.
stuff.
they've
Yeah.
got aged moonshine too.
The only flavored moonshines I like are naturally flavored. Like everybody's had an apple pie. But I've had other things. My idea, I don't know if this has been done. We talk about it on the podcast a lot, but what whorehound, right?
Whorehound
Moonshine? Something to think about.
That would be interesting.
Butterscotch would be good too.
Butterscotch would be good.
That would be really good. That'd be actually really good. Maybe we should look into that. We should make our own moonshine.
We know multiple people that can do their own moonshine.
They could teach us. We
Yeah.
should try to make our own. It'd be kind of cool.
You can go to the distilling game.
You don't have to wait. You don't even have to wait to drink it. You can just try it.
You just do it.
Yes,
You just do it, and you can drink it right away. And I remember that there was a. Did I ever tell you guys about the time with the Jameson bottle, or not the Jameson, the Irish cask, or what? Did I ever tell you about this
I don't
whiskey I tried to make?
know.
Did I ever tell you guys this?
You
Do we
tried
have-
to make
Do we have
whiskey?
time for a story?
Sure.
Should I tell the story?
Sure.
So there was a time where me and my brother, we were really big into drinking Irish whiskey. I was right around 21, and we'd had a lot of Irish whiskey at this point. And we were someplace at a fair, I don't know, something. And this guy was selling these little mini casks. And he sold these vials with it. And so basically what the idea was, you take vodka and you pour it in this cask, a neutral spirit. You pour it in this cask, and then you put in these vials, which were probably concentrated something or other. They weren't flavorings, but it was something to speed the process. And anyway, you were supposed to let this barrel sit for like maybe a little less than 2 years, or around 2 years or something. And basically, it came out to like a aged, like a
Aged
4-year-old
moonshine
aged,
kind of thing.
but it was supposed to be, so you could do different ones. And we did Irish because we were like, sure. So we did an Irish whiskey, and we were supposed to let it sit for a certain amount of months, and then we could open it. And actually, the Irish was less time, so it was only had to sit for like maybe 6 months or a year. It wasn't that long, and it was supposed to be ready. And so anyway, we bought this keg thinking this will be cool, and we bought like it was a decent sized keg. We bought like 2 half-gallons of. Well, so here's the thing.
The story keeps getting better. So here's the thing.
We're Irish, you know what I mean? So are we gonna go out and buy vodka and do this when you can buy Everclear? You get what I'm saying? So we thought more proof, more fun. So this is the way we thought. So we bought a bunch of Everclear, and we throw it into this barrel, and when we put the vials in, we shake it up, and we throw it on the shelf, and we're like, okay, now we gotta wait. And we waited, we'd check on it like every couple months. I was going to college or whatever. We'd come home, we'd check on it. And it had been like maybe 2 months for me, like not very long. And I'm like down there checking on it one day. I'm like, I'm going to crack into this and see, how this. So I pour myself a glass or two, and I'm drinking. I'm like, this tastes awful, but it's alcohol. So that's great. So anyway, then Tommy's checking, I'm checking on it. So like a little bit of time goes by, and only a few months goes by. And, I'm checking on it again. And it's like pretty empty. And I didn't say anything. I drank a little bit and I was like, this is really terrible still. And anyway, I went about my day. And then Tommy would check on it or whatever. And then one day I go there and it's like empty. It's like almost empty. And I'm like, Tommy. So he comes down there and I'm like, dude, what's going on with it? Is it leaking? And he's like, I've been thinking the same thing. He goes, I check on it and it's like empty. And I'm like, well, I've been drinking a little bit of it. And he's like, oh, me too. So we'd both been pretty much drinking it. We had only made it like 4 months into this, like,
and it was gone.
And it was gone. And so we were like, well, let's pour it out. And we poured like 2 glasses of it, and that was it. And so basically we drank like 2 gallons of Everclear in like a couple like months. We couldn't even wait. Like we couldn't even wait this like 6 months or a year or whatever. Like, can you imagine waiting 6 years for a bourbon? Like we couldn't even wait 6 months. You know what I mean? And it was terrible every time we tried it. And maybe it would have turned out. I don't know. It was terrible, but we drank it. Right, yeah. But there was something about the fact that it was ours, right. And it did taste Irish-ish. Yeah. You know what I mean? Which is not really saying much. It tasted better than Everclear.
It was there.
It tasted like something, but yeah. So that's the story there. But I don't know where I was going. Like when I originally talked about that, but
you were just excited about that.
Something to do with the fact that it's hard to wait.
We should make it. That's it.
Yeah. We wouldn't have to wait. That's what I was talking about. So we wouldn't even have to wait 6 months. We could just make it and drink it. Which is when you make something like that yourself, you want to eat. Nobody cooks a steak and then puts it away for a couple days. You want to eat it,
right?
Yeah, it's hard.
That's
I think I would struggle with that as a in a distillery type setting. It's like.
And it's not just pulling every day.
Well, and like Iron and Vault, he was like Iron Vault, and he was like, oh, we try it, and when it gets to the right, I was like, tie me up for that job,
right?
Like
I'll try. I will try everything for you. Pay me to try everything
when it's ready. Yeah, but there would be nothing left. It would be like those kegs of Everclear. Like it'd be like, well, we're not making any actual product.
Well, I mean, I guess if you're dealing with if you're dealing with a 53-gallon barrel, I guess it'd be a lot harder to finish that off in 6 years.
It does evaporate over time.
Could you finish off 53 gallons in 6 years?
Me? With the evaporation? I mean,
with evaporation, maybe.
Chris is like trying to do the math, like evaporation.
I'm trying to be honest here. I'm trying to think. Like, could I? If it was my job and I could do it?
Isn't that what 250 bottles?
Yeah,
something like
250,
that.
280 bottles
easily in 6 years. Oh yeah,
in 6 years. No, I think we absolutely could.
That would not even be a.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be hard. It would be.
Yeah, over 6. I mean, that's like less than 50 bottles a year.
Which is
And so like it's like 30 bottles a year. I mean, I feel like we drink
that's like 30 bottles a year.
Yeah, we're already on that track. Like
you're right. We do.
This is our average.
Currently drink 30 bottles a year.
Come on. That's not even the Grand Slam night. You know what I mean? Like that's like normal baseball play. Like we're not even trying to hit home runs.
So what you're saying is we probably shouldn't invest in this.
No. Yeah, we should stay out of the biz. Yeah. Unless it's moonshine, because you can make it and drink it.
Customers.
Let's stay out of this. Yeah, that'll be great.
We'll continue to be customers. Yeah. Although you do have a shelf full of tobacco that you haven't touched that is being shelved for 10 years.
I do go, but also I bought a lot of tobacco a long time ago, so I've been able to age a lot of stuff. But
and
like
still drink out of
I was buying like of certain blends, I'd buy like 10 or 15 or 20 containers. You know what I mean? And like that's easy to get it to 10 years. Right. You know what I mean?
So we need like 253-gallon barrels to be able to survive. Is what you're saying?
Yeah. We would need a lot. We would need a lot.
We may need to buy a distillery. Just for us.
Yes. So all in all, this is a good bottle.
This is a very good bottle.
Okay.
It's a very good bottle, very good distillery, very good tobacco. This is a good start to the night.
It's been a good experience.
Yeah.
For our first experience of the night.
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
For more.
We'll
see if the other one's just as good.
Thank you for listening to the podcast. If you want more great content and other perks, be sure to support the show by clicking the link in the show notes. We can be reached on our website, whiskeychaserspod.com, with any ideas for the show. Thanks again.